Yo, fantasy football.
Yo, what's poppin'? It's your boy Ant Dunstan with my guy Will Taylor, and we are back with the Yo Fantasy Football Podcast. What up, Will?
What up? What up, Ant? What up, world? Welcome back, 2021, baby.
It's a new world. We got a new life. After pandemic, we got through it. But we coming back, man. We're trying to bring y'all more content this year, more episodes per week. And today we're going to come with our way too early top five at each position. We're going to give you some quarterbacks, running backs, wide receivers, and tight ends. It's still very early, still a lot of moves to happen before the season. But I just thought, we give you our opinion and let y'all know where we're going and our way too early top five. So, my boy, let's start with the quarterbacks, man. What you looking
Man.
like, man? What's your top five looking like off the board at the position of the quarterback?
Oh man, number one, I picked Patrick Mahomes overall number one. I
Mm-hmm.
think he is obviously the best quarterback in I'm about to say the NBA and the NFL.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's solid. I think he's going to be on a revenge tour, barring any injuries or anything like that. I mean, they just lost the Super Bowl. Thought they were going to win, So Patrick Mahomes out 300 yards a game, at least 3 touchdowns a game. It's Patrick
Yeah.
Mahomes. Who you got?
Automatic. Yeah, I have Patty too at number one, or should I say Patrick Mahomes? He is my number one quarterback off the board. We just proved year in and year out over the last few years that he's automatic. You can't go wrong with him. Quarterback's a huge spot in fantasy. I mean, end of the day, that position has the ball, a lot of possessions. He gets a lot of touches. So you need somebody locked in at that spot. Like you said, 300 a game, definitely at least 3 touchdowns a game. That offense doesn't seem to be slowing down anytime soon.
Yep.
And like you said, I think he's going to have a chip on his shoulder. I think it's going to be a year that he has a little sour taste left in his mouth after the GOAT took him out in the Super Bowl. So I think he's going to have a lot to prove coming up this year. So consensus number one, we're going with Patrick Mahomes. Number two, I am going with who was actually the number one quarterback last year in PPR formats. Going with the Stallion, Josh Allen. I think he's going to have another great year. I was big on him last year. I was telling a lot of people that I thought he was going to have a huge year last year, especially with Stephon Diggs coming over last year. So I think he keeps that going. I think he's really finding his stride in the NFL. Again, he's a dual threat quarterback. He's going to get you some rushing touchdowns. He's going to throw a lot of yards, and I think he'll get you a lot of passing touchdowns. So I'm going with the Stallion at my number two quarterback off the board, Josh Allen with the Buffalo Bills.
Yeah, that's a good pick. That's a good pick. I don't not like that pick, but I think Lamar Jackson, the former MVP, I think he's going to have another good year. Hopefully, if they get Julio, then it'd be he's going to
Julio.
man. If only we could spend a whole show talking about where Julio can go.
Right, bro.
But
soon
yeah,
soon come. Told y'all more content, more episodes. We're gonna have a Julio episode for y'all.
Yeah,
my goat. But go ahead.
I think he had some regression last year. As expected. People knew the scheme a little bit more. He also, first half of the season, was trying to prove everybody like he can throw the ball. Granted, he did throw 40 touchdowns a year before and only 29 this year, but I think is going to make a balance out, get him back up there in the positive. He's throwing the ball more, getting more touchdowns that he's passing. He's also going to run a bit more too, because that's his game. It's not like he's built to run like that. He's out there like a running back, so like that. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's how he played football. That's how Baltimore wins games. They're the most running team. And I think for us in our league, for sure, if you get Lamar Jackson, pick him number two, try to get him like late third round, early fourth round if you can. Some places I saw he's going like fifth round, which is crazy. It's way too early.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I actually have Lamar third on my list, and to a lot of the same points. Again, I'm just huge on dual threat type of players, whether it be quarterback, whether it be running back, receiver. Nowadays, you see a lot of receivers coming out the backfield, but for PPR formats, man, especially 1 point PPR, I just think it's important that you get somebody that can do multiple things, get you more points, win you more games, more opportunities. So, but Lamar, like you said, he's going to get a lot of rushing touchdowns. He's going to get a lot of rushing yards as a quarterback. And then he'll get you enough passing touchdowns, even though it probably won't be as high as a couple years ago, like those 40 touchdowns you spoke about. But I think he gives us a little more than 28. We'll still see what happens. Again, They got need some help at the wide receiver position. But him and Hollywood always work hard together. Mark Andrews is another target. And sort of like you said with Patrick Mahomes, I think they sort of have a sour taste in their mouths too from last year. That division is really good. You got Cleveland, you got Pittsburgh, and you have them. So that, and then, I mean, you got to perform almost every night in that division. So
Cincinnati might get you too. You just
yeah, exactly. But for sure those other three teams, you just got to come with it. Everyone has to come with it. But you're right. I do like Cincy too. They got one of my favorite receivers out the draft last year, my man Chase. But another story, another day, another episode, more content. That's gonna be the theme today. But I got Lamar Jackson coming off as my quarterback off the board. So I guess we'll move to your third pick.
Yeah, number 3, I got Josh Allen. That's random. We got them both.
So we flipped them.
Yeah, we flipped him a little bit just for the same thing you said. I mean, the guy is just a cannon. He's like Cam Newton 2.0, bro. He's got Stephon Diggs. Like, he really has a receiver, and Cole Beasley, and they're going to catch the ball. Then he's got Devin Singletary and Zach Moss. He ditches. He gets dink and dunk too. He's not opposed to just doing the dink and dunk. He'll do that too. He's just trying to get it how he can. So I wouldn't be surprised if he ends up being number 1 again. But I just like Patrick Mahomes a little bit better. I feel like it's a safer floor. He's got a little bit more reliable with the weapons. Didn't Buffalo pick up a new receiver? We'll find out later. To be continued on that one. I think they did get another receiver as well to help him out. Or Gabriel Taylor. Man, whatever.
Oh yeah, well Gabe was with them last year. He was balling last year, but yeah, man, they got a good team. And again, I think they made a lot of good steps in the right direction last year. So I think they'll still continue that way and play a lot of good football this year. So he's just hitting his stride. The Stallion is the man. Who you hitting at your number 4? I'm going to double up on you.
Man, number 4, I think I got somebody. I know I do. Oh, man, our guy. Mr. Steal every touchdown because he's the running back for Arizona.
He's my number 4 too. Yep.
Oh, my goodness gracious. Kyler, little man. He the fakes, all that crazy stuff he be doing with the ball. He's going to score touchdowns. He's throwing the ball. He's crazy. I think they're going to be better this year. D-Hop's second year. They got rid of Kenyon Drake, so hopefully they make Chase Edmonds their go-to guy. And James Conner could catch the ball too.
I got Kyler too. Explosive offense, as you already know. But I do think to Mr. Steal Yo touchdown, I think he will be a little less run heavy this year just because he got hurt last year. So I do think that may hurt him a little bit this year as far as points. I mean, he's still going to be a beast. He's still going to get rushing yards. He's still going to have big games. He's going to get a lot of rushing touchdowns to go along with passing touchdowns. But I do think they're going to try to limit him running as much because that really hurt him late in the season last year. And honestly, probably hindered them from making the playoffs last year. They had to try to win a couple of games there down the stretch and they couldn't get it done. And he was battling some injuries after some big hits late in the year last year. So just keep that in mind. Kyler may not have as many rushing touchdowns and as many rushing yards as he did last year in that phenomenal campaign. I think he was the number 3 quarterback PPR overall. So for his position. So he definitely had a great year last year, but I do expect some of those running numbers to come down a little bit just for his health and for his safety, but I do think he still has a huge year. And again, that's another suitor that could get Julio. D-Hop has been recruiting Julio heavy on Twitter. He's been recruiting him super heavy. So if they do get somebody like Julio in there, man, oh man, that's going to get fun. So, but I think Kyler should be the 4th quarterback off the board. And that leads us to both of our number 5. I think we're going to go separate ways here, even though we had the same pick on the last one. We don't know where he'll be. The mystery position, the mystery move, I should say, of the offseason. But wherever he goes, my quarterback GOAT, I know it's not a popular favorite, but Aaron Rodgers, I think, is going to shape into the top 5 quarterback this year. Even if he stays in Green Bay, if he goes, I think wherever he goes, he's going to be a beast once again. I hope he stays with Green Bay because then that'll be automatic. He'll have a great year. You see what he did last year. I mean, he really just took control of that offense. Doesn't turn the ball over, which is great. Throws a lot of touchdowns. Devontae is the man at receiver. So Aaron Rodgers was actually number 2 quarterback last year overall for his position. I know that hurt you, Will. Last year, you drafted my man. No, I think you got him out of free agency.
I
Actually,
drafted him.
you drafted him late.
And
I
then I
think it was like
dropped him
one of
in
those
free
late
agents the same week.
Yeah, and he ended up having a great year. So, anyways, back to the point. I think he should be the number 5 quarterback off the board, regardless of where he is, unless he's not in the league, obviously. But if he's on any NFL team next year, Aaron Rodgers is going to eat. And if he's with Green Bay, it works with that beast of a receiver out there. And if he's not with Green Bay, it works because he's going to have the biggest chip on his shoulder ever. And I think he just eats. So I got Aaron Rodgers at my number 5 off the board for quarterbacks.
All right, number 5, I got that's a good choice. I got Aaron Rodgers number 6, so he's right there.
Yeah.
I just don't know where he's going to be at. I think when the season starts, if you ask me a week before the season starts and we know where he's playing, I'll have this in order. Hopefully,
Yeah,
he deserves. He's the MVP. You know.
Yeah.
Let's not disrespect him, but
Let's not do it.
I got Dakota Rain Prescott.
Oh,
quarterback of the Cowboys. I think you want to talk about a chip. He got paid. You know, and the chip come with the dip. And now he about to dip. He got his ankle back now. His line's a little bit better this year. I think Zeke, we'll talk about that. Zeke is going to have a better year. CD Lamb's going to have Amari. Michael Gallup wants to get paid or he's out of here. I think that their offense is going to be clicking. And also, I don't think they're going to have to outshoot or try to shoot out everybody like the Atlanta Falcons. I think that they're really going to be able to play solid defense and have good, close football games. But I mean, he was throwing for like almost 4,000 yards a game before he got. I mean, not a game, but he was on pace to throw 4,000.
He threw 4,000 2 years ago.
Yeah, and I mean, and he gets those running in touchdowns, and he's a solid quarterback. And I think it's more me being hopeful that he comes back with a good year because he's a good kid, and I think that
he has that fight, grit. Yeah, I like Dak. I got Dak at my 7 off the board, but my 6 off the board, which again we're doing top 5, but since we're here, I'm going with Mr. Herbert, Justin Herbert with the San Diego, or should I say Los Angeles Chargers. That boy is a beast, man, and I think he's gonna have a great year. They got a new offensive coordinator in there, who's the quarterback's coach for Drew Brees the last few years. So I think it'll be wonders for our guy Herbert this year. Definitely an offseason. He'll have like a real offseason. Usually last year he had the pandemic year. Tyrod was hurt. They had to do a lot of virtual meetings. So I think this year he gets like a full offseason under his belt. He gets more time to get chemistry with those guys out there. And like I said, I just think Joe Lombardi will be a good fit just to help him, mentor him into becoming a great quarterback. So I'm going to go with him as my 6th sleeper pick. So those are our top 5. We gave you a few extras, gave you a little seasoning with Mama's cooking on that one. Appreciate the support, man. Lock in with us. This is the Yo Fantasy Football Podcast, and we will get on y'all on the next one.
Like, comment, subscribe.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.